Madam Speaker, I am glad that the President affirmed resoundingly his commitment to the Building Bridges initiative, popularly known as the handshake, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, for the last close to 50 years, this country has been divided down the middle, Madam Speaker. We've looked at each other not based on the content of one's character, not based on what they believe in, but the first thing we've always been asking is, where does this person come from, what community, and what is their surname? There is nothing more important, Madam Speaker, at this time for our country than the unity of our people. And we are to blame as political leaders all the way from independence to date. We have divided our people. We have made people look at each other and make political choices not based on merit, not based on the content, but just based on what we call, Madam Speaker, in quotes, mtu wetu syndrome, Madam Speaker. That must change. We're a country that is beautiful. We're a country that has so much potential. We're a country that actually should be leaping. We're at the cusp of greatness, sorry, Madam Speaker. And the one thing that has held us back has been tribalism in this country. I remember a few days ago when we were vetting the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Mutiambai, that shade of our public life came to the fore. Normally, members of a committee sit, and this was a joint committee, but also you're allowed to have friends of the committee coming. And I pointed out that it cannot be a coincidence that the only members from both houses who came as friends of the committee also happened, coincidentally, to be from his community. There was no other friend of the committee from any other community. And I asked him, can you affirm this country that when you become the Inspector General, you will not be a Mukamba Inspector General? Yes, you come from that community, and we're proud of our cultural heritage. But even if you yourself do not think in a tribalistic way, your community then can come and surround you. And then before you know it, when you come to see you in your office, the secretary is from your community, your driver is from your community, the promotions are from members of your community, certain departments are from members of your community. That has been what we have been used to in this country. Many of us in this house, Madam Speaker, their PAs are from their community. The driver is from the community. The secretary is from the community. It's as if that is the most, important qualifying aspect. We must change those things. And so, in as much as the President affirmed building bridges and his endeavor to correct the wrongs of the past, we are saying that now it has been a year since the handshake. We want to see actionable, interventions. We want to see not just the rhetoric, but the action from that committee. We want to make sure, Madam Speaker, that in public places in this country, we ban the speaking of vernacular in public offices. And sometimes I'm sympathetic to the words of President Moi when he said that these stations and this, moving into our tribal cocoons will divide us more than unite us. And I know I've been attacked severally for that position, but it's my position, Madam Speaker. In as much as we want to listen to Cass, when you leave your vehicle after listening to Cass, do you feel more Kenyan or more Kalenjin? When you listen to Kameme, my brother, and I've gone to those stations. In fact, in the campaign, I had an advertisement in I can speak 6 of our ethnic languages, at least a few paragraphs. But when you listen to that one, do you feel more Kenyan or do you feel more of your community? We must identify and create an identity that supersedes that of our communities. And the reason why we are so tribalistic, Madam Speaker, is because we've not been able as a country to define what the Kenyan identity truly is. And that's why we move to the least common denominator, such that even in those parts of our country where everyone is from the same community, say Northeastern, they move to the lowest common denominator, and now it becomes clanism. But then ask yourself, then what does it mean to be a Kenyan? What does it mean to be, a person born in this country with heritage in this country? Unless we define it for our people, then they'll always go back to that cocoon. They'll always go back to it, Madam Speaker. And does Kenya mean more to us? Is it that we were just stuck in these 500 and I think 61,000 square kilometers and we must get along? Is it that we have communities that are so different that there's no higher ideal? Julius Nyerere did it in Tanzania. I've been there many times. Senator Pareno has been there in Yala. Even in the most remote village, inside a matatu, you will not hear anybody speaking in the ethnic language. Why? Because of what it does in case there's somebody who is not getting it. We must bring our country together. The challenges we face across this country are the same. A mother in Nyeri will feel the exact same pain when she cannot feed a child that a mother in Kajiado will feel. It's the same. A father in Luo Nyanza, in Kisumu, Kondele, will feel the same amount of shame and pain when he has to give his daughter up to a life of prostitution that a father in, Kilifi will. We have more that unites us in this country than what divides us. And I'm glad that I am the senator of Nairobi, where we have all these communities. I keep telling my people in Nairobi, there is no problem that faces Kikuyus that is different from that which faces Kambas. There is no pothole that is for Luos. There is no shortage of water that only affects Luyas. In fact, for us, we have said we have only two communities in Nairobi: the haves and the have-nots, the rich and the poor. And we must rally our people around that realization, that we will not go forward unless we deal with that. For many times, Madam Speaker, I've been telling the President, yes, you have done a lot in terms of hardware. We have electricity. We have seen many parts of the country getting it. We've seen the road network expanding. You brought the SGR. But that hardware cannot hold us together as a country. The 100-year-old railway was uprooted in less than 3 hours in Kibera during the 2007 post-election violence. Unless we build the software that drives us, and the software starts with unity, a Kenyan identity, a people proud of themselves, that I do not look down upon you because you do not speak the language I speak. That I do not choose a political leader because he comes from my place, because that does not mean that he will deliver. So we are standing behind the President in the Building Bridges initiative.